Hello, hello, Christopher Yaks here, co-founder of Yaks Yoga Concepts and the Awaken Life movement. So today, I'd like to talk to you about the 4 steps involved in every single yoga pose. I don't care what style you teach, where you practice, what style you teach, what style you practice, where you practice, what teacher. Like, if you're doing yoga, these are the 4 steps you want to experience in every single pose, regardless of the style of the class, where you are in the world. Doesn't matter. This is what you got to do. So check it out. The very first thing is to align. I'll put it up here. L-A-L-I-G-N. Fingers crossed that that's right spelling. I teach yoga. I'm not a mathematician. So align. This is like basic body position. So in every pose, I'll use extended side angle. So it's this one. So if you back that up so you get full body vision. So extended side angle, I'll modify it, but the forearm's here. So aligning is like basic body position. What do my feet do? Well, my feet are about 4 to 5 feet apart. My right foot is pointing to the front edge of the mat. My knee is aligned over there. So this is all alignment. I don't want my knee to pass my ankle. It should stay right there for the knee protection. My back foot is roughly perpendicular to my front foot, maybe at a slight angle. I'm heel to instep aligned, or in some styles they go heel to heel, so little subtle variations. My hips are low, right? And now my arms, what's my upper body doing? There's a tilt forward to modify. My forearm's on the knee, and my left arm is over my head, pointing in the same direction that my right foot's pointing. So like, I gotta know how to align this. The other part of alignment is what we call vertical stabilization, which is I'm wrapping the tricep, I'm pulling the ribs in, I'm pulling the jawline back, I'm setting the shoulder blades onto the back. So all of that, like, that's just pure alignment. Like, the way of thinking about it is like, where is my body just basically positioned? What should I be doing with my hands? What should I be doing with my arms, my legs, my hips, my head? Like, that's like alignment. Once you've got that basically like situated, the next thing to do is to integrate. Integrate. So, with integrate. Pretty sure that's not right. Maybe there's an I. Doesn't matter. You get it. Integrate means engage muscularly. This is what's so valuable, is that when I engage muscularly, it needs to be done before I start moving into the next third element. And so this is why it's so counterintuitive, is that most people are like, oh, it's yoga. I want to go get stretchy, flexy, bendy. I want to get like more flexible. Like, it'll get you there. But if you're thinking that yoga is all about just flexi, extend, opening, and it's all about flexibility, you're on like, injury is on the horizon. Because the first thing we want to do in integration is to engage muscularly to protect the body, the joints, to engage muscularly, the physical aspect of it is strength first, then flexibility. Integrate and then express. And so here it is. I'm going a little bit ahead, but check it out. So in that same example, an extended side angle, the integrative aspect means I want my feet to be pulling in towards each other, to recruit strength on the inner thighs, to snug the heads of the hips in, stabilizing and protecting the hip joints. Same thing with the arms. I'm hugging the shoulders in and onto the back, stabilizing and protecting the shoulder joint. Now, you may be thinking, but your arm is extended. I'm training this arm and this shoulder in such a way that, yes, it's not bearing weight now and it's not as important, but if I train it now in every single pose to be integrated, when it is bearing weight, when I am in a handstand, when I am in plank, when I am doing a chaturanga, what happens is now I'm integrated, like I'm safe. And so every single time I align and then I integrate muscularly. Strong feet pulling in, heads of the shoulders pulling in, core lighting up, tailbone and tailbone drawing down, pelvic floor lifting so that you're strong. And it's engaging, it's powerful. Like the body, your musculature wants that, to keep that strength alive in the body. Once you got that, third step. Third step is to, I'll put deepen. can also think of that as express. The expression of the pose is now what most people think you're doing in yoga, which is the flexible nature of it, the moving deeper into it. As you move deeper, in this same example, if you just focus on what happens when I integrate and I ground my feet and I pull in, you'll actually notice a slight elevation of the hips, an integration and strengthening of the inner thighs, of pulling the hips, the heads of the hips, the joints in. Once I've done that, now the work is to stay integrated. Don't loosen it all completely, but to relax it just enough to allow the deepening aspect, which is the movement of the hips down to stretch the inner thigh on this side, the inner thigh and part of the hamstring on this side, and the deep hip muscles. So you're integrating, and then once you've integrated, now I can move into the pose, but in a safe and stable way. Now, there's obviously other ways of deepening. I can lower my right hand down. As I lower my right hand down, now it works the hips even lower. As that happens, I want to reintegrate, and then even in depth, even when I express the deeper aspect, I still want to come back and feel that muscular integration happening. So, align, integrate, deepen. Last bit is to be. What does that mean? You've done all this work, right? I've got to get my body positioned in the right place. Okay, I'm integrating, I'm pulling everything in, I'm muscularly strong, and then I'm deepening, and I'm working the hips down, and now I'm feeling my edge, and now I'm integrating at my edge, but I'm deep into it. To be means to set your eye gaze and to focus your attention to the breath, right? Your awareness. To be is stop trying to fix the pose. Stop trying to go deeper. Stop trying to do anything. Just be there, breathe, and experience where you are. You've done all this work. You've literally gotten everything that you can feel and do and be, and in this moment, you're finally there. It's man, celebrate it. You could also put celebrate that. And it's not like I'm gonna get out of the pose and start dancing, but my point is allow yourself to just be there, to experience it, to not always continually think that it's this physical experience. Every pose is like the vehicle to get us to this mental experience of a quiet, a focus, it's determination, but there's a level of acceptance within it. That's the value, that's the beauty of it. You're doing all this work to be there completely and experience where that is. So valuable. So in every pose, you gotta focus on alignment because we gotta know how our body should be positioned. And then you need to integrate because strength is always first. Integration before expression, strength before flexibility. But once you're strong, you're integrated, you feel that, then deepen it. Feel, what is that range of motion like for you? How deep can you go today? And with these two, you can play the edges. You can go way strong and not worry about how deep you can go. For whatever reason, maybe you have an injury that you need to nurse and it's not about flexibility for you that day. Or maybe you've just done a crazy workout or you ran a marathon and you're feeling super tight and you want to stay integrated, right? It's never all one or all the other. There's always a balance we want to achieve with this, but you may lean towards the deepening end of the spectrum because of something that you've done in your life or some experience that you've had. But regardless of what you do on this side, this is so important because once you've arrived, man, be there. And the way to do that, the tactical nature of what to be means is to breathe consciously, to focus your attention to the gaze and to the breath and experience all that you're feeling within this pose. To be there is to allow yourself to not continually think it's just about the physical, to allow it to go a little bit deeper into the mental and potentially even the emotional. And so if you're that's it, those are the 4 steps, every yoga pose. Align, integrate, deepen, and then just be when you're there. And so I hope you found this valuable. If you are enjoying these, then feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Yaks Yoga Concepts. And we're also doing a bunch of Facebook Lives. So if you want to like us on Facebook, it's Yaks Yoga Concepts as well. We're on Instagram too, at Yaks Yoga Concepts. We'd love for you to be a part of our tribe. So like, follow, subscribe, do all those things, and we will see you next time. Peace.